everybody, and welcome to Project Talk. I'm gonna make a new one of them countdowns and make it just like 10 seconds long because
You cut
sometimes
it off at 7 seconds, right? I was I thought that my stuff froze again.
I cut it off at 7 seconds.
Yeah, it still said 7 seconds left on the countdown when I looked.
Oh, it does it automatically. I didn't cut it off.
Oh,
Like it runs down to one and then turns off automatically, unmutes our mic, puts us up on the screen if I'm smart enough to remember to turn off the black screen, and boom, here we are. So welcome everybody, and by everybody I mean Sergio and Duff. According to StreamYard, there's only two watching, and you guys have both said something in the chat. So, is there anything you guys want to talk about? Because you're it for the night, I guess. It could be my fault. I did forget that today was Thursday. What time was it that I messaged you? It was like it was after noon.
yeah. I worked a half day in office and did the other half from home today, and I got it on the way home. I think so. It's
I'm
close
like,
to 1.
I'm like, are we streaming? And he's like, well, yeah. And then I'm like, I forgot it was Thursday. Well, now StreamYard only says there's one, so maybe that counter's not right.
I mean, you have yours running, I have mine running, and there's at least one person talking in chat, so I feel like that's 3.
Two Sergio's in the chat too. Does it not show up for you?
I see Sergio's message, but that was like 10 minutes ago, so who knows if he's still here.
Well, he's probably making a sandwich or something.
We just got we've still got Duffman.
Duffman.
Oh yeah, Duffman. Can't breathe. Oh
yeah,
no.
It is what it is. I mean, James and I said just before the stream started, though, like if we don't have a decent crowd by the 1 hour mark, we may have to call it early. I've been fighting a headache all day long. Not a migraine, just a regular headache, and I could use some rest. It has been one crazy week, and I want to tell you all about it, and yet I cannot give spoilers. But, and I'll touch on this again at the end of the stream, I have a video coming out on Sunday.
No way.
I am so excited. It is 35 minutes long, and the whole thing flows really well, except for maybe one little spot, and I'm not going to tell you what the spot is. You can pick it for yourself. I did contemplate changing it, and then I thought, nope, gonna leave it alone.
So if the weather is nice next week, and I have to take a look, no, because it gets dark by 9 o'clock still. I ordered a CNC machine, a wood milling CNC machine.
Okay.
So I was going to build it on stream, but I don't think I should run it here carving wood until I've at least got a vacuum attachment for it and stuff to put around it to stop stuff from going all over the place. But
right.
So, but I mean, I guess I could. So it's 40-40, so it's like a little bit less than 2 feet by 2 feet. It's milling. I don't know what the 40-40 reference is something to do with the cut size. It's 15 inches by 15 inches for the cut space.
Okay.
And the one I ordered, there's an upgrade kit that you can buy for it afterwards that doubles the length of the bed, so you go up to 30 inches.
Yeah, that's how my laser engraver is. You can get a kit to make it longer.
I went kind of in the middle of the cost. So originally I ordered the cheapest one, and then I started looking. I'm like, that's got acrylic parts. So I jokingly said to one of my friends, like, I guess the first thing I'm doing is milling replacement parts because it'll do aluminum, apparently. And then it turns out for like $100 more, I could get one that's like all steel and like thicker extrusion for the body. And so I was like, I'm just going to do that. But then it's like you end up with a slippery slope where it's like, oh, it's only an extra $100 to get a better one. And then from there, oh, there's another one that's only an extra $100 over that one.
Oh, yeah.
So I cut the line off on the first one. The next upgraded one had a built-in controller, so you don't need a computer. But there's a controller available for this one for $60. So I was like, But
well, that's pretty cool.
It's 3 axes, and it's got the emergency stop and the end stops. I don't understand why. I don't understand why anybody would manufacture one of these machines without end stops at this point.
No, exactly. Well, I mean, they're so expensive, those end stop switches.
Like, it's going to cost an extra $1.50.
Not even
at retail cost. Not
pennies.
yeah.
Yeah, Duff
to.
said second mortgage later.
Well, I would love to eventually have a 4 foot by 8 foot CNC machine, but we don't have the space here, so that'll be like
Yeah, I'd like
next
a 4
house
foot
or.
by 8 foot CNC plasma table.
Mhm.
Tony Ryan has joined us. Glenn Hogue has also joined us. Greetings from the Alabamas. Welcome,
Somebody
guys.
was talking to me about that once and was like, "Hey, if I passed my hand underneath the plasma cutter real fast, how much damage do you think it would do?" I was like, "Whatever you passed underneath it would get cut off." I was like, "What if I was real quick?" And like, no, like, it would go straight through you. You're nothing compared to like milling metal and wood and anything
Yeah,
else. Like,
it's so hot. It
yeah,
is so hot. It's funny that you say that though, because when I pulled up my YouTube tonight to get all of this set up, one of the videos that was being suggested was by the Water Jet channel, and it was what would happen if you ran your hand under the water jet.
same thing.
Yeah, well, and I didn't watch the video because I was getting set up for this, but they had I'm assuming ballistic jelly with a skeleton hand in it as the thumbnail, and I thought, oh, that's going to be a good watch.
So I think remember I was having issues with my USB stuff last week.
Right?
I think the issue is something related to the extension boards that I used at the front of the shuttle PC because I moved my mouse to the hub, and like knock on wood, nothing else has happened since. Whereas it was resetting quite regularly. After doing some digging, I think so here's what gets me. Like I could understand. Well, I guess it's all. I guess probably it's all on the same USB controller. Um, I didn't make the signal traces thick enough on the boards that are in it. So at first I thought it was just going to lead to like lower communication, like connecting a webcam to it. The webcam will run, but there'll be occasional stutters. Like, well, stuff like a mouse and stuff. But then I started thinking about it's like, well, a mouse polls very frequently, so it's not using a lot of bandwidth, but there's a lot of calls.
Right.
So,
A lot of data
um,
points. Yeah.
yeah. So you start getting any errors in that data, and who knows?
Interesting.
The important thing is everything sucks and always will.
The important thing is that project's done and you've moved on.
Well, I've released the files except for the PCB files.
Yeah.
But I'm going to retune them and thicken those traces up.
That makes
But
sense.
my my sponsor contact, actually left for another job at PCBWay, so I've
Yeah,
been
I got
handed off to
that
somebody
same
else.
email. It's so funny because like I still get emails from them every once in a while. Hey, really looking forward to doing that collaboration. And I want to write them back and go like, go get bent. You know, like I offered you a beautiful collaboration and you weren't interested. So
You need to stop, collaborate, and listen.
that's right. Sergio
Uh,
asked, who's the other guy at fault? It doesn't matter. Sometimes it's just the other guy.
did you probably not? I think I just posted it. Um, did you see the picture of my video card?
Yeah, the buggy video card.
So I ordered that off of eBay from a eBay seller that had like very high positive feedback, and it showed up in its box wrapped in one layer of bubble wrap, and that was it. And like the box wasn't even formed to it, so it was sliding back and forth. So like the 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 metal part of the car, like the what's the word for that? Like the bracket, the metal mounting bracket that has the
Uh-huh.
IO on it, is bent to heck. So I've had to like push it back. I haven't even had a chance to test it. So I was gonna try and maybe get it to post. I'm just trying to figure out what I'd hook it up to at this point because I would like to find out
Yeah.
whether or not
I
it's
I
toast.
ordered a brake caliper for a secret project that I'm working on,
Does
and
it involve calipering brakes?
yeah, a brake caliper.
Yeah,
And
I
so
cracked your code.
it's roughly this big and weighs probably I don't know, probably 20 pounds, and they put it in a 1 foot cube box. You
Sounds
know,
like
like
some Amazon production right there.
eBay,
Oh,
and then shipped it to me UPS, and the mounting horns of the caliper had punched holes, perfect 2 holes in every side of the box.
but other than that, everything went fine.
I mean, the caliper was fine. It's it's cast. I mean, you're not going to hurt it. That's for sure. So
I'm just grabbing that video card. I don't know what I'm going to connect to it as a monitor.
Mitch 3D said greetings from Colorado.
Sweet home Colorado
is this weekend. I know that they did it as Rocky Mountain Rep Festival, but it doesn't even, like, you can't say it. Ermurf? You know, at least the Sanjay one is Smurf. The Florida one is farts. You know, make it say something.
Okay, I have a plan, and it involves me disconnecting that.
That's a great freeze frame of your arm.
Well, so here's the thing. I'm gonna use the video input as my video card, and I'll because I've got another webcam connected, so I can just point that at my ugly mug, and that way we'll definitely be under 5 viewers and be able to take an early night.
Hug said, "Run, Murph."
Run, Murph, run. Okay. Let's see if I'm as smart as I think I am, which is not difficult. I don't think I'm intelligent at all. Hey, look, it's me, Mario.
It's me, Mario.
Did you guys go see that movie?
Nope.
We
Don't
did.
Go to the movies. There's people there.
We went to the movies. Kay and I went and saw it one night this week, and we each got popcorn and a pop. Oh, I guess this might need some more bending. Popcorn and a pop and our tickets and everything, and it was like $80 for the two of us to go.
Right.
It's like, I remember back in my day, when I was knee high to a grasshopper, you could go to the movies, and for the two of you with your snacks and stuff, it would cost. Actually, it's not even that long ago, and this isn't an exaggeration. We used to be able to get coupons that two could go, and it would give you a large popcorn and 2 pop and a chocolate thing and 2 admissions, and it was $20 for the coupon.
Yeah. Well, when I was a younger whippersnapper around the 16-year-old age, we had a theater. It was called the Popcorn Palace, and it was old. Like, it was back from the days where they still had places to tie your horse up outside.
Oh, I thought that was just Goshen.
No, but it was only like $3 to go see a movie, because it was the only movie theater within a certain number of miles. I can't remember what the thing behind it was, but if you were the only movie theater within a certain number of miles, then you got cheaper movies. Like, the movie theater got the movies cheaper, so therefore they could run the theater cheaper. It was like, you know, they would run $1.75 matinee specials and stuff.
Goshen, Indiana, where the horses are still transportation.
Speaking of calipers, one of our 2020 Rams managed to eject a rear caliper on the highway, no marks on the wheel. Well, that's pretty impressive. I mean, that's scary, because at the point that you lose one caliper, kind of all your brakes go away. But I was telling James a little bit before the stream about an event that I had on Facebook this week, which I will tell that story in a little bit. But I had a guy contact me yesterday. I have a rear end, a rear axle out of the 2006 Dodge Ram that I got for parts. My donor truck. I have it posted for sale on Facebook, and a guy contacted me yesterday and said, "Would you be willing to trade a different, like the same axle, but with 410 gearing for yours with 373? I just need better fuel economy." And I wrote him back and I said, "No, I have no need for another axle, but I'll absolutely sell you this one." And he said, "Well, I'd give you like $100 to just trade me, and then you could sell mine." And I'm like, "But a 373 will be much easier to sell than a 411, mainly because of the guys running the diesel trucks." And he said, I don't. He said something, and I said, "Why don't you just sell yours, and then use the money to buy mine?" And he's like, "Well, I've been trying to sell mine, and nobody will buy it." And I said,
Ding 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 ding.
"Yeah, and so why would I want it? Like." And he's like, "Oh, it's fine." I'm thinking, "Yeah, it is fine. I got the axle you want, and you don't got it.
He
Give
shot.
up."
Like it's okay. He shot his shot. That's okay.
I mean, you got to try.
Yeah.
There's no wrong in trying, unless you're one of those kind of people where something's listed on Facebook for $1,000 and you just send a message, "I'll give you 250 for it." That annoys the crap out of me. So I always respond to those. If I'm asking, say I'm asking $1,000 and they're like 250, I write them back and say 1,500, and then they're like, "Well, you're going up." Yep. Now it's 2,000.
I was laughing. There's one posted on Reddit, and the guy was selling like an iPhone, and it was selling for $400. Somebody offered him 350, and he said, "Okay, we can do that." And then the guy comes back with 320. My kid needs braces. And the guy said, "Sorry, no." He goes, "What? You don't care about kids?" He goes, "No, I need to sell it for at least 350. My kid needs braces." uh,
I had a guy when I was selling my Corvette. I had a guy come look at it, and we were talking about the nightmare that it is of selling things on the Facebook. And he said that he had this something to do with hockey memorabilia. I don't know if it was a helmet or what it was, but like it was in a glass case.
yep.
And he goes, "I posted it up for sale." He goes, "I was asking less than 50% of what they go for, just because I needed to get it sold." And he goes, "Some guy offered me," and I don't remember the figures, but let's say he was asking $250 for it, and the guy goes, the guy offered me $20 for it. And he goes, "I told that guy I would take it out in the yard and smash it with a hammer and light it on fire first." And he goes, "For 2 weeks, that guy just kept harassing me." He goes, "I took it outside and smashed it and lit it on fire and filmed it and sent him the recording." I'm like, "That's nuts, man. Why would you do that?"
Your mom has entered chat,
My mom has entered chat.
I think.
Hey, my mom has entered chat. Hi, Mom.
You made me question whether or not I was right by doing that. It's like, well, if he doesn't recognize his own mom's name, how am I
Well,
supposed to be
because
right?
she was up. Like, Jake from
Yeah.
State Farm chimed in, and yeah, Duff, you still have it? Yeah. Is this still available? Oh my God. I always put in the ad. If the ad is up, the item's still available. Is this still
I don't know if
available?
this happened to you, but especially with retro computer stuff, something will pop up. Is it? And I'll be like, "I'm really interested in this. Is it still available?" Like I never do just the buttons. And yep, okay, I'll take it. Sorry, it just sold. Okay. There's one point, like I'd been talking with this person, and I'm like, "Okay, I'll take. I can pick it up this weekend. I can e-transfer you the money." Sorry, it just sold. I'm like, "Oh." And like they're asking like $150. I'm like, "Would it make a difference if I offered 2,000?" He offered me 200, and he's like, "They offered me 1,000." Smiley face. I'm like, "Okay, it's not worth that much." Like,
Jake said, sorry, Matt said, "Did I see you just picked up a Vet 76? No, it is actually a 74. My old one, my yellow one, was a 76. This is a 74. It's got a 69 engine in it. I'm working to identify the transmission now. I don't know if the transmission is out of the 74 or if it's out of the 69, but it is a 350 horsepower small block 350. So that's pretty exciting. The video on it, the first video will be out Sunday.
Sunday.
What time did I say I was releasing them? At 4, I think. But so I was online looking for. They sell this item for Corvettes that hooks to the luggage rack. That you can, when you take the T-tops off, the T-tops hook into this carrier so that you can strap the T-tops to the luggage rack. And I want one of these. I really just need it for the week of Power Tour because the storage space is so small on a Vet there won't be room to get the T-tops into the normal stowage area. So I want
Right.
to be able to put them on the luggage rack. I can buy one. They're $159 brand new, but again, I really just need it for the week. So I had popped into a couple of the Corvette groups, and I've been members of the Corvette group for a while because I was, working on selling mine back in the day. And I had made a post in there, hey, looking for one of these. If you got one cheap, love to buy it. If you're willing to rent it or loan it out for the week of Power Tour, I would appreciate that as well. Whatever. So like an hour later, I get a message, and this guy's like, "I got one." That's all he said. "I got one." So I responded to his post, and I said, "Where are you located? What kind of condition is it in? And how much do you want for it?" PM me. All right, so that already annoys the crap out of me. If you're not willing to talk about whatever it is publicly,
It feels like I'm
already,
about to get fleeced.
yeah, already a red flag, right?
Yep.
So I go to send the guy a message. His profile is private, and I'm like, I can't send you a message. Your profile's private. Okay, well, I sent you a message. So I get into chat with him, and I said, "Oh," he goes, "Are you okay with shipping?" And I said, "Well, I mean, if you're not local to me, then I guess, yeah. I mean, if you got what I need and it's the right price, I'm fine with shipping." So this was a couple of days ago, so I don't really remember how the conversation went word for word, but he said, he goes, "Where are you located?" And I said, "Well, I'm in Florida," and I gave him a proximity. And so I said, what do you want for it?" "Well, what do you got?" All right, so that annoys me as well because I got more than I'm willing to give them. Like, I got a couple of kids, you know,
Which you'd
but
be fine with, but like if he expects you to give food with them, then
right. So I wrote back and I said, "Well, I got 2 nickels and some lint in my pocket right now." And he's like, "What?" And I'm like, what do you want for it?" Can you send me a picture of the item? And so he's like, "Well, make me an offer." And I'm like, "Well, without seeing it, I'd have to say like, $50, plus shipping, I'll cover shipping." And so then he's like, I said, "But I'd like to see a picture of it." And he goes, "Well, how about 60 including shipping?" And I'm like, "All right, that's great. Do you take PayPal?" And he goes, "Yeah, but it has to be friends and family." Well, nope, nope. So I don't know if you guys know, but if you pay somebody through PayPal via friends and family, you have zero buyer's recourse
yep.
because you have told PayPal, "I am sending this to somebody who is either a friend of mine or a family member.
There's no
Therefore,
reason for me to ever think I'm going to need to get this
right,
back.
I don't need buyer protection."
But also as a side effect, PayPal takes less money out of it because it's not a business transaction.
Right, there's no fees, right?
Yeah.
So
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 it's
I
not
said,
an automatic indicator that for sure this guy is trying to rip you off, but it doesn't bode well.
no, it's already screaming. I'm already like, I looked at his profile. His profile was created in January. He only had one profile picture and one banner picture, and not because his profile was private, because he had friended me so I could see his whole profile. He had nothing in there. Had no friends, zero friends, which could be just because the guy was a jerk. But so I said to him, I said, "Yeah, no, if I send it to you F and F, then I have no buyer protection." And he's like, "Bro, it's fine. Like I'm legit. You got nothing to worry about." And I'm like, "That's totally what a scammer would say." And I put a little smiley face or whatever, and he's like, just send the money. And so I said, "Well, what did I say?" Oh, and I said, "All right, well, what's your PayPal email address?" Now I'm in the background, like I'm trying to obtain his IP address, which Facebook makes that very hard. But I'm working to obtain his IP address so I can get a location on him. Uh, I'm waiting for his email address so I can run a background check on his email address. Um, and so he's like, "Well, hang on, I'll get it." And I'm thinking to myself, how do you not know your own PayPal email address? Like, that just seems weird. Okay. So then he gives me the address, and I'm in the background running. I'm running the background check on the email address, which comes up clean. It was a Outlook.com address, and it comes up clean that it hadn't been used in previous scams. And so then all of a sudden he's like real impatient, like question mark, did you send the money, question mark. As soon as you send the money, I need you to send me a screenshot that you sent me the money. And I'm like, well, why do I need to do that? Like, you're going to get an email saying that the money was sent. You'll see it in your account. And he's like, well, I need the screenshot. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know how to do screenshots. And he's like, just do a screenshot on your phone. I'm like, well, I'm not on my phone, man. I'm on my computer, and I don't know how to do screenshots on the computer. And so then, like, I'm still in the background, still trying to obtain his IP address. And he goes, did you send the money? And I'm like, PayPal won't let it go through. They said there's something wrong with that email address and that it can't process the transaction. And he's like, well, send me a screenshot. And I'm like, well, first of all, I told you I don't know how to send screenshots. And second of all, I wouldn't send you a screenshot of my PayPal account. Like, you don't need to know how much money I have in there, which is zero, but whatever. And so I'm like, do you have a different address? And he's like, hang on, let me see. Or hang on, let me get another one, is the way he put it. So he's off doing this. And so I'm still sending him messages like, hey, I'd really still like to see a picture of this thing. Where are you shipping it out of? Like where are you? And should have seen if he accepts Best Buy gift cards. I'm like, where are you out of? And then he's he's quiet for a bit, and then he's like, Idaho. And I said, seriously? I got family in Idaho. I don't have family in Idaho. And I'm like, what part are you from? And he's like, where's your family? And so I'm like, well, they're scattered all over. And I'm like, I have Idaho pulled up on a map. I'm sorry to anybody that lives in Idaho, but I don't know much about Idaho other than potatoes come from there. So I have Google Maps pulled up, and I'm looking at Idaho, and I'm like, well, I got some family in this town, and my grandma lives in this town, but they're scattered all over. Like, the rest of my family's just scattered all over the place. And so I'm like, what town are you in? And so he sends me Bonner Ferry, which is actually Bonner's Ferry. So who gets the name of their own town wrong? And I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have any family in Bonner's Ferry. But my uncle actually lives, and I picked the next town away, which is like 40 minutes away. I'm like, my uncle lives in whatever town, Daleville or whatever. I said, maybe I could get him to just drive up and get it. He could just get on US 2, and be there pretty quick. I'm sending him a message now. And the guy's like, listen, it'd just be easier if I just ship this to you. Just PayPal me the money and I can get this shipped. And I'm like, yeah, but this way you wouldn't have to worry about it. It'd be so much easier. So I'm like, yeah, my uncle's up that way all the time anyway, dropping off paperwork to the police department. He's actually a cop in Dalesville or whatever the name of the town was. And he's like, bro, are you serious? And I'm like, well, yeah, is that a problem? And he's like, I think you're jerking me around. I said, yeah, I'm jerking you around because you're a freaking scammer. And I've now taken an hour and a half of your time that you couldn't scam somebody else. And so I'm like, you need to go, you go get bent and stuff. And he's like, F you and F your family. And then he blocked me.
That's a completely reasonable response in my view.
So then I spent the next 15 minutes reporting him to everybody. He said to me when I called him a scammer, he goes, I'm going to call the police on you for calling me a scammer. I said, do it, please do it.
Can you imagine if this is all just a miscommunication and in fact he was completely legitimate? He comes back and the cops are the cops wouldn't get involved. What? Oh, there's some name calling going on. The guy wouldn't give you money, and as a result, nothing happened to you.
No, I just, like, and then somebody else had in the Corvette group had commented on my post like probably 10, 15 minutes before the end of this whole thing. They were like, that guy's got to be a scammer. His account's brand new. He's never posted anything in here. And so I DM'd that guy and I'm like, I totally know. I said, I've been jerking the guy around for over an hour. I said, it's the guy's absolutely a scammer. So, and then the admin of the group reached out to me and said that they had, dumped the guy's account. Not that it's going to stop them. Facebook sent me back a message and said that they didn't see anything wrong with the profile and they weren't going to block him. I'm like, the dude was trying to scam me out of money, you morons. Facebook is trash. I'm just saying, and I hope they're listening. Oh, but anyway, the moral of the story is please be very careful on the internet. If somebody is offering you money, offering you more money than you're asking, will not deal with you in person. Yeah, just don't do it. It's just
I don't want to deal with myself in person, so I don't blame them.
Well, it's funny too, because the conversation I was having with the admin of the group, he said, one of the biggest red flags is when somebody's trying to buy something or sell something and they won't talk to you on the phone. And I said, well, in fairness, I suffer from social anxiety and I don't like to talk to people on the phone. Like when I'm trying to sell something and people are like, you got a phone number I can call you at? I'm just like, forget it.
Not worth it.
I'll sell it to somebody else.
Look, all I'm saying is every morning I get up, I look at myself in the mirror and I go, you man, just go yourself. I'm so sick of your.
But yeah, it was,
I got a new haircut though.
Technically it wasted an hour and a half of my time, but that's an hour and a half that he wasn't scamming somebody else.
Proud of you, Glenn.
I never did manage to get his IP address. So you used to be able to obtain the IP address because like you're running through Messenger, there's things you can do to obtain IP addresses. Facebook has fixed that. So every IP address that you get is a Facebook IP address. So
yeah, so now you got to do a little fishing if you want to catch something.
Yeah, well, and then what is trying to think of the name of that?
The link one?
What's that?
The link one where you like
where you create
the redirect?
link. It's something .link, but I can't remember what it is now. But it's down. I don't know if they took it offline. Maybe it's just down for me. Because I have so much of my network locked down because I have a teenager.
A teenager with attitude.
But yeah, so because I was gonna post a link in and be like, this is the item you have, right? So that I could get him to click on it. But it's fine. All it would have done was tell me where he really was, which was most likely India.
Most of the ones I've gotten have been from. Actually, I'm drawing a blank now. Ignore me. Come back to me.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely. He was getting somebody to give him the email addresses, or he was going out and creating them on the fly. I'm not sure which one, but it sure felt like he was dealing with a boss. Like it's a scam center. So.
I'm trying to run a. Admittedly, I only have old versions of benchmarks easily available. I don't have a mouse on the computer that's connected to the capture card right now.
If it looks and smells like poop, it's definitely poop. Well, and the thing is part of my job, my day job, being the IT guy is protecting the rest of the employees. And I'm not like nothing against the people that I work with, but some of these are super easy to fall for. So like once in a while, they'll send me an email and they'll be like, "Is this legit?" And then I always have to ask, "Well, did you click on the link?" And they're like, "No." Okay. And I go through and look. So we have a vendor, and I'm not going to call them out publicly, but they're huge. They are a huge vendor, like billions of dollars. Their email server is compromised. I have proven that somebody has access to their email server and is sending spam out of the email server as their employees to people that the conversation normally goes with, referencing job numbers and job names. So it's super, super legit, but it's not the information that's like the information in the email is not legit. Oh, my mom says she has to go. Good night, Mom. But I've contacted their HR department or their IT department, and nothing. Not a go get bent or we'll look into it or nothing. So, and I've confirmed that that's the right contact with the employees of the company. So, pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. It's a wild west world out there. And then I had another guy that wanted to buy some of the Dodge Dash parts. This has been going on for 6 weeks, back and forth. Like he'll ask me a question about it and I'll answer it, and then I don't hear from him. And then like a week and a half later, he'll ask me something else about it, and I'll answer it, and I don't hear from him. So finally, he asked me how much I wanted for it. I gave him the price, which it's fair. So what I do, if I have an auto part to sell, I will look it up on eBay. I will look it up on carparts.com. I will see what they're, not necessarily what they're selling for, but what they're being posted for. And then I will sell it for cheaper than that, usually by about 50%, unless it's a high demand item, then that's different. Or something super rare. So I give him the price, and then he and I had been back and forth like a whole bunch of times that day, like 10 times. And I give him the price, and then he ghosts me. So I thought, all right, well, too rich for your blood. That's fine. If you're not going to counter offer, whatever, I don't care. So then yesterday, day before yesterday, doesn't matter. He messaged me and said, like, he made me an offer. I think I told him I wanted $80 for it, and he said, I'll give you 50. And I said, okay, that's fine. Come get it. I mean, I've had these parts in the garage now for like a year. It's time for them to go away. So I'm like, yep, come get it. And he's like, where are you located? Now, if any of you out there have never looked at something on Facebook Marketplace, it shows the general location of where you are. Like, and I know you can change it, but
by and large, that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Gives you an idea.
Yeah. So anytime that I feel even remotely uncomfortable, I give everybody the address to the police station, the local police station, because it's only like 10 minutes from my house. So I'll.
Do you freeze or did I freeze?
Now I'm gone. I was gone. I was fine, and then I was gone. But yeah, so if it's sketchy, I'll go meet him at the police station, which gets rid of a lot of scammers anyway. But so I give him the address, and then he's like, oh, I'm going to have to pass. You're like an hour from me. Now, this particular item, technically it was 2 items, but one piece of this sells for $140. The other piece of it, which it had some breaks in the plastic and stuff. So I just told him, I said, if you buy this piece, I'll give you this piece. But technically it was about $200 worth of stuff, even in its condition, that I was going to let him have for $50, and he wouldn't drive an hour to get it.
How much easier does it get then? Kaylee and I have spent 5 or 6 hours round tripping for something that one of us was interested in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I drove 5.5 hours to Podunk, Florida to buy Daisy, the crashed up dually truck.
Daisy.
John
I've
Strand
never.
said, "What's up, people? Why are you streaming during the week?" That's what we do now, John. We stream from 7 to 9 on Thursday evenings, Eastern Standard Time. We had some scheduling conflicts with Sundays, so we had to move it to a weekday, and this was the one that we picked. And boy, are my arms tired. Oh, wait, no, that's a different joke. So I was watching a Australian cooking show,
The other day.
and one of the contestants on there made a meringue, and everybody in the audience cheered, which was really weird to me because I thought all Australians boomerang. Come on, that's funny.
What did Zach say when you told him that one?
What's that?
What did Zach say when you told him that one?
He just puts his head down and goes like this.
I can't get the screen big enough to get any of the stats off the top of this to see how it's doing, but I think the graphics card's okay. I'm gonna let it run for.
And what is that graphics card?
It is a GTX 1660 Super.
Tony said, "That's it. Unsubscribe." So, I collect these dad jokes for Zach, but I can't go. I can't go to Zach and tell him a joke because as soon as it starts to come out, I know his reaction is coming, and so I start to laugh, and then he knows it's a joke, and it kind of ruins it. But it's just that much funnier, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I guess it didn't die. Let's go ahead and turn anti-aliasing on. I have no mouse connected right now, so I'm having to do this all with keyboard commands.
With keyboard, yeah.
Let's do, is that 8 times MSAA? Yeah, it looks like. I care not for your warnings.
This week, the garage was the messiest that it has been in a long, long time. Like it was, I mean, we're creeping up on 2 weeks now. But
I feel like there's a fuzzy butthole right above my head.
It kind of looks like a fuzzy butthole.
It looks like a cat's butthole.
It's the Brown Star.
Mm-hmm. Brown Star certified. Here, everybody deserves the full Brown Star experience.
John Strand said he's the fun king. Got to understand he's gonna dad joke from time to time. So what's really funny is I know that Zach goes to school and tells his friends these jokes. Because like he'll come to me and like a couple days later he'll come to me and he'll be like, what was the punchline to that one? And I'm like, uh-huh. Mark said, how messy was it? Mark, it was so messy that I couldn't find tools. Like I was missing tools, and that doesn't happen. Like I always make sure I put my wrenches and stuff back. Tape measures, that's a different thing. I lose tape measures all the time. In fact, there's a tape measure sitting over here in this windowsill that has been there since I moved into this studio. But no, I finally had to take Monday. Monday, I went out and did a couple of things on the car, and then I had to stop and clean. I had a tarp on the floor. The bottom of that car is so filthy. It needs to be pressure washed, but I'm still working out how to do that. But I had a tarp on the floor so that I could spray oven cleaner all over everything and degrease it. And so that was just nasty. And then I had cardboard on the floor because everything under that car leaks. So, but it's coming along well. The video that's coming out on Sunday is actually only the roadside restoration portion of it. You don't get to see any of the other work that's gone on yet. You just have to wait. But I did manage to edit that video in 2 nights, Monday night and Tuesday night. So I must have cleaned the garage on Sunday. But
Well, I'm
Nope.
gonna
Nope.
guess that the that GPU is in fact good to go,
Well, that's good.
despite the fact that it got bounced around and had literal bugs coming out of it when I got it here.
No,
Just
it's
the
fine.
just
The
the one.
shaking around got everything out of it. So
Oh, that reminds me. I got rid of the bug, but there's also a you know the little caps they put into the port so they don't get dirty during shipping.
right.
One of those is inside the card underneath the shroud.
Wow.
So the important thing is I got nothing. Everything sucks and always will. I make that joke a lot, and then I go, "Is it really a joke if you say it all the time?"
Well, W.C. White once said, "Humor plays close to the big hot fire, which is truth."
Hmm.
And that saying has stuck with me for a long time because I always kid around about things, and then I think to myself,
Huh.
I'm not really kidding, though. I mean that. I really mean that guy's a jerk.
The other thing I want to do is I'm going to take a quick look. So first of all, before I pull out anything else, we were discussing whether or not this was going to be a 1 hour or 2 hour stream tonight.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
I mean, I could still use the rest.
Okay, because I had a printer I was going to work on, but I can save it for another time. So
Yeah,
like
I
it's
mean,
not
I don't intend to make the audience sad, but if we can cut off at the 1 hour mark, I would not be upset by that. I could use some sleep. My head is just killing me.
My wife caught the cold that I had several weeks ago, and the cough is held on, so neither of us are sleeping much. So one extra week of recharge would be good. I was going to I'm getting weird artifacting on the CR10, and I think it's the first one I had. It's either I think it's the first one I bought. I'm not 100% positive because I have 3 of them, and 2 of them look pretty much identical. It finally occurred to me that I think the problem is that after so many, probably thousands of hours of use, because like Ready Printer 1 was 1,500 hours of printing on its own. I think the wheels are chunked up on it. So I think there's little chips and stuff, and then obviously that translates into whenever it settles into one of the grooves or whatever.
Yep.
So I was going to dig through my drawer and see. I ordered a bunch of replacement ones a long time ago, and then because I couldn't find them immediately, I went ahead and ordered a bunch more.
Sure, I know how that goes.
Yeah, but they won't be here for like a month. So I was like, well, they might be in one of the one drawer here that I tend to dump all my spare parts into, but that's more than an 8-minute job. So
yeah, I still, you guys aren't going to believe this. I still haven't finished cleaning out the upstairs of the house. I pretty much took everything that I needed to have down here, and then I left everything else behind.
we recently discovered that it looks like we're now able to build a shed that it's no longer like you need a building permit if your shed's bigger than X.
Okay.
It's like this is what qualifies as a shed, so it can have electrical up to a certain point and no running water and stuff like that. And it can't take up more than Y of your property, and it can't come to within more than 6 feet of your property lines.
Okay.
So we're kind of talking. It's like, do we just build a fully filming with storage and everything studio? Because we had discussed it beforehand. Then when I started, I basically did the masking tape line out to show this is how big the space would be, and it's like, that's going to be a lot of compromise to make things fit in there. But now if it's we could technically build a 20 by 40 shed off the backyard.
That would be a pretty significant building. Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to get rid of the pool though. That cuts into the pool space. We have an above ground, so it's not.
Right.
Anyways,
Right.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe
Here we can go up to 120 square feet without a permit.
Well, that's the way it
Any-
used to be here, and I'm waiting to get like a final answer back because the policy that used to say that no longer says that.
Interesting.
So the policy was just basically like, if it's this size, then there's like if it's this size, you need this. If it's bigger than this, you need to like there's slightly like if you're building a up to 100 square foot shed, it can be within 3 feet of the property line. Otherwise, it has to be more than 6 feet away.
That doesn't make any sense, but okay.
I'm sure there's probably raising for it, like maybe like actually I can't really think of it.
I mean, I guess 100 square feet, that's only 10 by 10. So if you had to move it, you could.
That's probably what it is. It probably becomes a more permanent structure when you're
Yeah.
and maybe it was if you I don't know. I'll have to go back and relook. I don't want to talk out of my butt.
Yeah. So here the setbacks depend on which lot line. So I have to be 15 foot off of the back or the side because I have neighbors on both of those sides. And then I had to be 25 feet off of the road side, which is what the garage faces. It faces out to the side street. And then 25 feet off the front. But everybody else that had already built here built their houses like 80 feet back.
Yeah.
So I complied and built mine to match everybody else's down the street. And I'm kind of sorry I did that. I'm sorry I didn't put my house way out in the front where I could have had more junk cars in the backyard.
You can add your own tree row.
I have my own tree row. I just don't have any trees.
I need a tree row.
I think it's great the governing bodies can tell you what you can do with your own property you own. Yes and no. So like I have a hard time with it. I have a hard time when Lou the code enforcement officer comes by and we talk about all my junk cars which are not in compliance, but Lou's cool and I've always been nice to him, so he doesn't do anything about it. But people, like, if there was no rules, stuff would get way out of hand. So there's got to be some rules, but like when you start to get into like HOAs and stuff, oh, no way could I live in an HOA neighborhood.
Oh, did I tell you I have a DeLorean Motor Company watch?
Really? Like legit? Oh, that's pretty cool.
Let me show you the back of it. I've had it for a while, but it didn't fit, and then I finally ordered the kit to remove a link from it because I didn't want to scratch the bands. I wanted to do it properly. Let's see if I can get this to. Come on. There we go.
Wow, that is super cool. When was that made?
I got it. I want to say not last Christmas, but the Christmas before.
Wow. That is really sweet.
And so it's got like it's got Glendon until time in 1985. That's right. So it's got a stopwatch. You can see the bottom gauge. I think when I push this, it starts ticking away. You can see it moving there.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you hit the button, it pauses it, and then you hit this, it resets it back to 0.
That's pretty cool.
And this gauge here does nothing. It's just meant to look like one of the gauges on the dash. I've always had a thing for the DeLorean, and I think I've told the story. I had the option to buy one for 20 grand, and it would have maxed out our line of credit to do it. And now I wish I had, because like within a year, it was like the cheapest one I could find was 55 grand, and now it's not much better than that.
I could have bought one back. It would have been probably the mid 90s.
Yep.
Maybe late 90s. I could have picked it up for $14,000.
Well, 20,000 Canadian back then was probably $14,000 US.
Yeah.
Tony Ryan, it holds a lot.
Tons.
Couple of bumps for sure.
The watch or the car?
The watch.
Oh, because the cars hold a whole bunch.
In theory, I would never practice that, obviously.
Actually, if you push the buttons in a certain sequence, it pops open, and then there's some powdered sugar inside.
Hey, today's a Canadian holiday after all.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's 420.
Oh,
The day the Earth stood chill.
is it really 420 today?
It is 420 today.
That's weird because usually like Twitter and Facebook's full of that stuff, and like I
Do
don't condone that kind of stuff, so I just start blocking everybody that posts it. But no, I'm just kidding.
I
I mean,
I
I don't
didn't.
condone that. I mean, you do what you want to do, but
If it's
it's not
legal,
my
if it's legal where you're at, that's fine. Don't push
it's
it on other people.
it's
And
not
like,
my forte. Yeah.
I got into the car this morning. I'm driving and I turned on the radio, and Afro Man's Because I Got High starts playing. I'm like, this is never on the radio. This is you like, because there's definitely one verse in there that makes it not radio friendly, which they
Yeah.
just filtered out very badly. Like it's just cut. You know what I mean? Like they did. So it's like, but and then it's like it goes in there. I'm like, oh, and then they're like, oh, Afro Man, happy 420. I was like, ah. So then I called Kayleen while driving to work. I'm like, hey, happy 420 day, and she's like, what? I'm like, it's 420 day. She's like, oh, bleep off, and then I had a laugh, and then we hung
Yeah,
up.
usually the social media is actually, just absolutely full of that stuff.
Oh, switching to politics because I know how much you love politics.
Excellent. Let's talk politics. Let's just nuke this right now.
Somebody sent me links to there's possibly more than one, but at least one YouTube channel that uses one of those voice AI systems
Okay.
to the ones I saw have been Joe Biden, Obama, and Trump, and like one of them's like they go to
Oh,
Dairy
playing
Queen.
playing Minecraft or something.
Well, in this one they go to Dairy Queen. So like
Okay.
they get dropped off by Donald Trump's wife, Melania. I always get the pronunciation, but yeah. Anyways,
Yeah,
so she
something
drives
like that.
off. Yeah, so they go inside, and Trump keeps calling Joe Sleepy Joe, and talking about how he beat him at Mario Kart, and then uh, Donald orders a triple cheeseburger. Obama, I think, orders a blizzard, and Joe Biden orders a dipped cone. So then they start teasing Trump about the fact that he ordered a burger at an ice cream place. Then Obama starts teasing Joe about the fact that he keeps calling it ice cream when it's soft serve and not actually ice cream, and that the ice cream side of it's just marketing. And then there's a part where Obama's like, "Hey guys, watch me flip my. Hey guys, watch me flip my blizzard upside down." And Joe's like, "Don't do that." And he does it. And Donald's like, "Don't you understand, Joe? That's part of that marketing for the blizzard. You're supposed to do that." It's just such a silly, stupid thing. But I'm like, at a time where it's all politically charged, it's just treating everybody like idiots. And you know what? That's fine by me.
Yep. Okay, now we have to stop talking about politics.
I mean, was that really talking about politics? It was talking about
No.
political figures, but it didn't dig into any.
Yeah, some of those where they're like playing Minecraft together and stuff is so funny.
Yeah, the one I went into after that was they were playing Mario Party, and Joe Biden's like, "What do the different colors of circles mean?" And Donald's like, "I'm not going to stop and explain every single part of this game to you, Joe. You'll learn as you go along." Anyways.
Oh, well, should we wrap?
Yeah, might as well. I'm Slim Shady. I'm the real Shady. Oh, you mean like wrap it up?
Well, whatever floats your boat. I can't lay down no lines.
I like how I picked the part of the song where he's more singing than rapping. Y'all act like you've never seen a Canadian before. Okay, well, I got nothing to promote this week.
I do. I have a video coming out on Sunday.
I'm gonna make sure to watch it.
I exported it last night. Like I always get done editing and then I wait till the next day and I watch it again. When I'm not, burnt out, I watch it again just to make sure that there aren't any critical errors in it. Like I don't care
Any
if
of the
I mess
bleeps and the
up, but-
bloops.
Well, I actually I say something in this video, but I censored myself when I said it. But you know what I say? It's pretty funny. But anyway, there's actually a couple of parts in this video that going back and watching it, because again, it's been over a week now. Like going back and watching it as I'm editing it, it made me laugh. Like I made myself laugh. which I do anyway because I'm the funniest. I'm sorry. I almost said something really bad right there. I almost said I'm the funniest melon farmer. Anyway, it's hard when you have one family friendly channel and one not so family friendly channel. But anyway, the video is coming out on Sunday. Oh, I watched it today. Like I said, it flows well. It's about 35 minutes, but it flows well through the whole thing, other than that one spot, and you can pick it yourself. And it's just a small spot that I could probably clip out of there, but
I don't wanna.
Not gonna. It is it's action packed. It's fun. It was a fun episode to shoot. It was a fun episode. I even didn't mind the editing side of it.
I believe you. He lied. No, I'm just kidding.
But I did my intro, or I always do. You know, hey everybody, welcome back to Fun King Garage.
Nope. The butler did it.
The butler did it. The Sean Butler did it.
The Sean Butler. Sean, we're wrapping up early.
Yeah. But so I do my intro, and then all of a sudden it goes to 60 seconds of black screen because I didn't put the actual channel intro in. So I will fix that probably tomorrow night.
I believe in you. You exist.
But it's good. I know you guys. You guys are gonna love it. It's a really good episode. It's got lots of twists and turns. So anyway,
tune in next week. I'm going to build a CNC machine probably.
That'll be exciting.
You'll be able to hear it go, and then I'll hit the mute button.
I won't plan anything for next week then, so that I can
keep
an eye on the chat.
It's supposed to be a pretty simple kit to get put together. They say a half an hour, so I think 2 hours will probably just about cover
it. Well, mainly if you're talking at the same time.
Well, I'm putting in the Canadian conversion rate too, so.
Oh, okay. You know, with the way the U.S. dollar is going, it won't be long, and the Canadian dollar is going to be worth more than the U.S. dollar.
What is the current conversion rate? Not, as we're trying to wrap stuff up, but I have not been paying attention to it for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's going to get us into politics, and I really don't want to go down that route. But there's some really bad stuff happening in the United States right now, and
still $1 Canadian dollar is worth 74 cents US, so it's still got some distance to go. It's not that bad yet, but yeah, let's avoid ticking off potentially half of our audience.
I have a feeling that the bulk of our audience fights the same way I do.
Oh, well.
So.
I mean, I think that's how everybody feels.
The other portion of our audience is Canadian. So. Mark said, as Sean Butler, quick recap: Glenn working a vet, guy tried to scam. James made brown butt video. Politics and the CNC next Thursday.
It was just the fuzzy pooper.
Hey, the great part is you can always go back and watch the replay. It'll be uploaded pretty quickly. It uploads pretty quick. So, but anyway. All right, guys, this is the point where I say thank you to each and every one of you for showing up, all 5 of you. I don't really know how many people are here. I don't know if that thing is accurate or not. StreamYard and YouTube.
It's still showing 5. Yeah.
But yeah. But anyway, I appreciate the not giving me flack for wanting to duck out early so I can go get some rest. I just
quickly, Sean, just fire me a message on Facebook. I'll toss you a link.
My oh yeah. So, but anyway, thanks to each and every one of you guys for tuning in. We will do it next Thursday when James is going to build a CNC machine, and I'll eat cake. I don't really know what I'll do, but we'll do something. So watch the video on Sunday. Super important. Watch it twice. Watch it from more than one account. I whatever you can do. Every bit helps. Oh, I do have one other announcement to make.
You're pregnant.
504 subscribers.
I was close.
I broke the 500 mark.
Oh,
over the weekend.
I have an announcement to make. 1,337 subscribers. Does
I
that
seen
mean?
your post, your elite post.
Yep.
So, but anyway, thank you guys. You know, until next time, as always, friends
Print
on.
on.